Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus The Riven Realms. We're still exploring the ruins of Quathos, and hopefully we continue to do so without getting ourselves killed. The streets forge into the city's northwestern quadrant, and as you inch deeper and deeper into its paths, the ever-escalating heat makes its presence known again. The buildings that populate your surroundings offer shelter from the worst of the Molten Tongue's wrath, but the oppressive air is becoming harder and harder to bear, sometimes by the minute. You wonder when it would reach a threshold that kills you all. I just imagine that you just vaporize and you'd never know, but... The group emerges out of a series of wide streets into a section where fissures crisscross the ground ahead. Most cracks are negligible. One must only skip a foot or two to conquer them. There are places, however, where a proper jump must be mustered for the time being. They are nothing serious, but peering down, one can see that the tongue's lava has thoroughly flooded all subterranean districts. By your reckoning, the many fabled underground halls and corridors are lost forever, and the depths are now hopelessly engulfed in the scorching ichor of the earth. Down there, the lava bore new tunnels and conduits, promising a fiery death to all those who would descend. Similarly, one misstep here, one slip, a fall, or a misplaced foot would see any who falter plummeting into a death pit of dire proportions. A fate most terrifying indeed. Kinda like when Gollum fell into Mount Doom. After traversing and jumping over the fissures for a while, of course, you do reach one where your athleticism and strength will be tested. Companions vault across, narrowly clearing the chasm of lava below, and now is the time for you to do the same. You mentally prepare yourself and get a fair run-up. I think we would like to save our resourcefulness. We succeeded. Resourcefulness is this purple thing down here, if you're not familiar with it. You can use it to boost your checks, but you only get a limited amount of it per day, so I'd like to save that where it seems unnecessary to use it. You launch over the fissure, landing firmly on the other side. The others make it too, though you cannot help but watch them with a measure of apprehension. Once you are all together again, you walk out of this plaza and progress along some streets. However, you soon realize that you have other problems. Although you had a glimpse of it earlier, the terrain that stretches out before you now is even less encouraging. To say that the ground has been torn apart would be an understatement. You are looking at a smattering of islets on a lake of lava up ahead, each of them peppered with ruined structures that appear warped and mangled beyond recognition. Behind them, still at least a half a mile away, the vast outline of the Grand Archives is visible in the heat-distorted haze, alluring and terrifying in equal measure. There is much to consider, not the least of which is how you shall get to the other side. Even to stand here is to suffer heat on a scale which you had not imagined possible. Your gaze searches desperately for something, anything that might offer hope. You cannot take this much longer. You came looking for Barandar, not to perish needlessly in an ancient city that has been overtaken by the smoldering blood of the realms. It is as though you stand on the precipice of a fiery underworld that threatens to consume everything, your party, your mortal coil, and your very soul. There! Someone calls out suddenly, pointing to the middle island of the three closest. There is a silvery glint that catches your eye, so sharp and twinkling that it cannot be born of this place, this death trap, where all metal is rusted and dull, but something that was brought here. You all approach the edge of the lava to get a closer look. You must circumnavigate the lake a stretch until finally reaching the point closest to it. From here it is obvious that the lifeless body of a dwarf is lying on the islet's shore. The bright gleaming comes from the armor that adorns the body, but you are no closer to conquering the distance between here and there. It is much too far to jump, this is certain. You have to find a way down. It is the only way to know whose body it is for sure. You need not linger further, for it hits you all at once. To reach the other side shall require careful steps and the utilization of a rope and grappling hook. First, you must descend closer to the lava, only a spacious ledge that shall afford the group the surface to secure the rope, as well as you get closer to the islet. Then, the hook has to be tossed across to find purchase across the jagged rocks. Finally, it is only a matter of shimming across the rope hanging over the lava. Yet as you climb down the molten rock getting closer and closer, there is something else too. At first you think it is simply the consequences of delirium, the price you all pay for being under the thumb of such dizzying and disorienting heat. Soon, though, you realize it is not so. The bubbling lava beneath the ledge is churning and coalescing. The flame that rises from it forms a being that almost looks human. Its visage is a mask of pain and rage contorted into a shape you cannot help but shudder at. Then you see there are 2 of them, and they are heading your way. There is no time, no escape from the ledge now. Weapons are drawn, and at your behest, everyone stands vigilant. We must fight the fire elementals? Oh boy. Yeah? Well, Nadir, you're not going to be very helpful in this. We will try our best, though. Oh, they're magical! That sucks! Because we don't have the blessing of unbinding. I have to imagine the fire's not going to do anything to you. That she can at least debuff them. Oh, okay. Scornar can hurt them. Is it because you have a magical weapon, sir? Can I shout at you? Alright, Harvick can also hurt them for some reason. And then I have to imagine... Alright, they're immune to magical damage. They were taunted by Gorgoro. Well, and that's hilarious because Gorgoro's in the back. Can your hawk do anything to them? Not. No. Good damage. You evaded me? What the heck? Debuff. Good. They evaded me again. We have to keep... Man, they're resistant to all the damage. Take note. Don't bring Nadir for sure. But also be wary of bringing Finderath as well. I'm gonna taunt you or something. I can't imagine hitting you with fire is a good idea. Yes, well done, Garrick. We might as well like buff the front row if our magic users can't harm them. Ouch. Gorgoro, I would like you to switch with Scornar because Scornar can actually harm these guys. There we go. Keep going. Draw out. That's not really gonna work. And the Hawks, yeah, it was prospective at best. Boost these 2. He's still alive. No, this is Harvick. I called him Garrick. Ah, balls. Debuff. You guys can't be missing these attacks. Like every miss is incredibly detrimental. Ah, damn it. Here, let's swap out with you so you're less likely to get hit. Ah, they do a lot of damage. The shield doesn't seem to be helping much. Immune to diminish. It does give you armor, but I feel like these guys are dealing magic damage, which is preventing, or not necessarily preventing, but penetrating any armor values I have. Thank God we were able to fight through that. That was rough. Okay, the fire elementals falter and then dissipate. Their fleeting form becomes mere ash and hot air. You take a moment and no more, despite their demise. The sweltering air is no kinder before you head to the edge of the lava. In a flash, you and your companions realize that you must get this right on the first try, without securing the path over to the island and back to this ledge. You will all be stranded on the island surrounded by lava, destined for the worst kind of death. The hook you have brought will need to be thrown expertly. First, however, you secure the other end to a very sturdy rock outcropping on the ledge, and wet its full length to give it at least some defense to the heat. Then everyone holds their breath as the best suited to the task throws the hook the distance, skillfully securing it on a window of a ruin on the other side. A round of applause follows, but only briefly, for afterward comes the worst part. Someone with both daring and athleticism to make it across must do so first, because if they don't, you all risk falling into the lava should the hook on the other side come loose. Warped, mangled, and sometimes strained to the point of breaking, these structures are hardly reliable. A leap of faith is required, and when the companion reaches the other side, they will have to shore up the arrangement. The most suitable candidate is chosen. They say a few words before jumping up and dangling from the rope, and then finally they begin shuffling across. There are a few moments where everyone wonders if your companion will fall and be lost forever, yet thankfully they make it across. Who do you think they sent? It was probably Harvick. Or maybe Scornar? Warped, mangled, and sometime... Oh, whoops. There are a few moments where everyone wonders if your companion will fall and be lost forever, yet thankfully they make it across. Minutes later, the rope and hook are bound more securely for you all, and you make your way across one by one, fighting against the exhaustion, pain, and fear that rack your body, threatening a slip-up that would result in a particularly agonizing death. Once across the lava, you wait for everyone to gather, and you begin exploring the island properly. It is not long before you walk over to the armored dwarf's corpse. This dwarf was certainly one of Captain Thabron's warriors, and clearly he belonged to Barandar's group, but neither of them is Karandar's cousin. There are two others close by, both of which you find in quick succession after the first. They are splayed out on the island's hard ground, and by the looks of them, they perished in a disturbingly violent manner. There appears to have been a struggle of savage proportions, one in which none of the dwarves involved seemed to gain the upper hand. Their foes must have been fearsome indeed, but what it was you do not know. Closer inspection reveals many troubling details. The fact that all who fell were maimed and mangled is plain to see. Muscles have been torn from the bone in many instances, and the bones themselves, though sturdy, were broken or crushed. Bite marks mar the remains and attire of some, and in some cases, whatever was responsible for this carnage even gnawed on those very bones. The pit of your stomach churns. To bear witness to such savagery is unsettling, and it stirs a deep fear within you. Having seen enough, you turn away from the dead, troubled. Your gaze wanders, taking in the extensive ruins spread over the islet. Exploration continues in earnest. There simply must be more to all this, and the only way to find answers is to keep looking. You soon happen upon a fourth corpse among the ruins, seeing that this unfortunate soul died a horrific death while trying to remove his armor, inside which he was cooked alive. A firestorm or an elemental, perhaps, you cannot say. The latter's presence would not explain the other's wounds, yet with the constant disorienting waves of heat and currents of scalding wind, the former is likely. You press on, seeking more answers. The ruins are expansive and exploring them takes some time, but at least the crumbling walls shield you from the worst of the heat. At length, you reach a weathered and warped tower at the center of the islet. It was probably a bell tower once, and one of the few places you have not explored yet. Ascending it is an arduous affair due to the large segments of stairs having collapsed, but with a round of boosting and ropes to boot, you make it to the upper reaches. Taking the remaining staircases to the topmost level, you emerge into an open-air chamber where the bell used to be. The roof, while predictably bent out of shape, is supported by 4 stone pillars. Here there are signs of occupation, manky bedrolls, forsaken gear, and scattered leftovers. At the far end, a red-haired armored dwarf is slumped against a pillar. To his right, a decorated helm rests, exquisitely forged and crested by a winged serpent. On his left, a short sword caked with old dried blood and a backpack. It can be none other than Barandar. He appears to have fought fiercely and valiantly to the bitter end. You move to him, kneeling next to his inert form. His wounds and scars are like those of the others. Bones are broken but have been spared the gnawing. His limbs bear bruises, gouges, and cuts. He has most likely bled to death. You search his body carefully, taking several items of interest, namely his hammer, helm, his pipe, and well-preserved amulet, and several pieces of jewelry. You take them for safekeeping. There are also pages of parchment he secured inside his chest piece, having tucked them away before the end. You pull the pages free, finding them to be bound together in a journal of sorts. You sit down and take it into your hands. We got his armaments and his Osculite charms. The handwriting is shaky, yet the penmanship retains stylistic flourishes, as though the man could not shed his habits despite obviously being in a hurry. A struck chord in your heart tells you that these words were important, a clarity found only in the facing of one's end. My luck has finally run out. This is the final day I will see. They killed me. Soon my lifeblood will be entirely spent. Can't say how long before the words fail, before clarity fades. These are my last words. We were to push into the archives to find our prize, our moment of glory, the reason Karandar sent us, despite the losses along the way. Alas, it was not to be, and I have come to understand that this place hates our kin. Its loathing I can feel on my skin. Perhaps it hates all living things, except abominations. We tried to cross the islands, but the earth rumbled again, and solid ground shifted apart, and now we're trapped. No way forward and no way back. The heat has become unbearable. We found refuge in the ruins from it, and we waited and waited. Waited for the islands to shift again. All we needed was something, a stroke of luck, but it was a vain hope. Boggy was caught outside as fire descended from the sky and perished in flames. The others wouldn't touch him, said he was cursed. Were we all cursed? I tried to calm them, to speak sense into them, but there is no sense here. No reason to go on. They became restless as I did. There were flickers of hope. Ways out, they said, and when they were trying to find a path, they drew the mad gaze of the tainted ones. They knew and smelled our fear. The last word is underlined 3 times. The pen or quill ripped the page. And you turn it. So don't be afraid. The writing on the next page is more inconsistent. Some words are written with more force than others. A sense of finality and sadness radiates from them. Then they came. We fought, but there were too many. Too many. The others sacrificed themselves for my sake, for their lord. Bought me time to run back to our tower and ascend, shaking the abominations off. I ran and ran, hoisted myself up here to safety, just to die. Only here did I realize my wounds are fatal. My only consolation, that someone may find this message one day. And yet, perhaps it would be better if nobody came for us. This place is a hateful, evil thing. It despises us. It wants our death at all costs. It teases us with the knowledge of our ancestors, that there was a better way, that our kith and kin achieved something great that can still be reclaimed. Yet now I see that it is all a lie. There is no hope, not truly. What it did to our kin is unspeakable. They became animals. No, worse. They are everything wrong with our people magnified. Greed and gluttony made manifest, with no regard for beauty, prosperity, or kindness. The opposite of what I saw in us, the opposite of what I wanted us to be. No matter. The end is close and I welcome it. I do not wish to go on. A scrawling at the bottom of the page indicates an attempt at Barandar's name, yet it is half finished. Sorrow takes you like a spear through the chest, yet you quell any further emotion. Barandar is dead, and it is senseless to tarry. You stow the pages somewhere safe and allow your gaze to drift beyond the tower's bounds, back to the island and the rest of the ruins. Uh-oh, we got to get into a fight. Before you can turn to leave, you open Barandar's backpack and find something hard and head-sized wrapped in leather. When you unpack it, you find a magnificent oval-shaped crystal the color of flame. A tiny mote of light dances inside it, and is slightly warm to the touch. Whatever it is, Barandar kept it upon his person, so you pack it up too. Then you take a blanket from the bedrolls and cover the dwarf explorer with it. Standing up, you steel your resolve, promising yourself you will not make the same mistakes. Orders are doled out with haste, and everyone climbs down from the tower. As you set out toward the fastened rope and its hook, a low rumbling begins and you shuffle back across the ledge on the opposite side. The rumbling deepens, and when you stand on the other side, and as you scramble back to the initial ledge above you, a backward glance confirms your fears. The islands shift and break, the lava flows sloshing around unbidden. Had you not left immediately, the rope, grapple, and hook would have been the least of your concerns. Instead, you have been confined to suffer the same fate as Barandar, to die in despair on that island, bereft of hope. Everything seems to move in a blur now. You rush through the same streets that brought you here, turning corners, jumping fissures, and ignoring the sights that might have given you pause before. When you reach Inventor's Square, the roars from earlier find you again. A sickening fear grips you. More roars, closer now. Something is wrong, you can feel it. The creatures must have caught your scent. Instinctively you run, spurring everyone on. Thumping footsteps on stone floors like deep drums. You look back, the square now in the distance, and you realize there is no point in running. You must stand and face them. We gained the flame-hued crystal. You see them now. They emerge from ruined buildings, bounding over broken streets. Their speed is born not only of impossibly muscular limbs, but also of the oversized knuckles they use to propel themselves forward. Their resemblance to dwarves is uncanny, yet they are changed, tainted, a mockery of their ancestors. Bone protrusions and sickly tumors cover their manky, wildly hairy forms, which are akin to those of feral apes. The abominations unleash blood-curdling roars that feel as if they will deafen you. Worst of all are their eyes, vacant, raging, animalistic. Neither intelligence nor emotion dwells here, only malice and malevolence, and the stench, by the gods. You gag as they close in. We must fight them. Dang, they look wild. Maybe the fire will be good against these guys, because my dudes are hurt as frick. Are you immune to stun? Thick skull, balls. Well, stab him. 7 damage is good. Dodge, please. Thinking. Still thinking? Maybe because he's in the back row, he's like, I can't. Nope, never mind. I take it back. And you shoved Elani to the back row, which is not great. This guy has a black beard. Do you think he's more dangerous? Painted dwarf. Any day now. Oh, boy. You instantly downed Finderath, which is not great. Good hit. Let's boost Nadir in the hopes that she can use her fireball. Throw down the wards. Those will continue to hurt people even while our people are knocked out. Yeah, definitely attack my downed character. I might have to... Oh, he threw a rock at me. I was going to say, I might have to reset the game after this because I've been playing for like an hour and a half straight. It's run out of memory. Did you hit her again? I don't know if he did. Good hit. Double up the fireball. Yes, Nadir can actually harm these guys. Fantastic news. The hawk for some damage. Let's bleed him. He's still alive. That sucks. Skornar's up next if we can get through this one guy. All right, you punched Finderath into oblivion. Boost Nadir. We might have to count on those two to just carry us to victory at the end here. You're gonna go for Harvick for sure. Oh no, just move around. Okay, they already used their special action, so maybe if they're at the back row, that's actually preferable for our dudes. All right, rush forward and hit this guy. Good hit. You're probably gonna go for Harvick. Oh, nope, you went for Skornar. And you can't do anything at the back row. So if we get her back around to Harvick, we're gonna have Harvick just kick people to the back row as much as possible. Good hit, Nadir. Hit this guy in the front. Double up the fireball again. One of them got eviscerated. Oh, you blocked it, you bastard. All right, another one down. Boost Nadir. Our tanks are one of our tanks is probably going to drop here. Oh, nope, they keep attacking Skornar. I'm totally fine with that. Kick you to the back row. You can't move. Oh. Counter punch. Ooh, I didn't know you had the ability to stay on your feet like that. That's fun. Still up. A counter punch for only 1 damage is not so bad. Throw down the wards on this side now. Good hit. That guy's still alive. Not anymore. Oh, you have a recovery skill. Ah, Skornar. Here, recover Skornar. Oh, this is a bare knuckle brawl to the end, team. All right, 1 down. 2 to go. Could wipe out this guy in the middle. Maybe this guy's this guy, actually. I'm not sure. All right, middle guy down. Oh, good. We actually countered his movement. We'll move you to the back in the off chance that you get to do something. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's knife throw this guy and move you to the back row, Harvick. Hit you with a fireball. Rush in and do some good damage. We succeeded! Oh, Finderath got taken out, but overall, we managed to make it work. Oh no, we have to fight them some more? The abominations fall by your hand, and yet further roars ripple out, seeming to shake the very streets you flee through. More are coming, thus you must hasten your flight. You hurtle through the ruins now, your chest pounding wildly as you do. Perhaps a united front of the Comitatus can beat them back. There is still much distance to cover, but if you can reach it. Your question is answered when you see another of the tainted ones on a nearby roof. It raises its fist into the air, thundering roars sundering the sky. The curtain wall is there in the distance, but the rooftop beast has called others to him. They are the masters of this city, you realize, as you see them emerge from hidden places, between buildings atop unseen roofs and even underground. Their eyes, always their eyes, they bar the way to the curtain wall, immovable hatred. Oh, we gotta fight more! Please say there are less of them? Okay, there's only 4 this time, but we have very little health. And Finderat is not able to come with us. Was Gorgoro not capable of coming either? I guess not. Well, everybody focus fire the same guy. Good crit. Let's get Nadir to go twice. That's rude. And you'll charge forward and knock somebody out for sure. Oh, it had to be Skornar. Oh, and you stunned Nadir? Oh my god, we're gonna lose. These guys suck. The fact that they can stun is incredibly annoying. Kick that guy to... Oh, these guys are immovable, I'm sure. Oh man, we're gonna have to play like the last hour and a half of the game again. Yeah, everybody's stunned, so we can't do anything, so they're just gonna punch our people to death. Last gasp of a dying man. I guess when I run this back, I would skip bringing Nadir, even though she's really good against the dwarves. I would bring... Maybe Garrick would be good? Yep. They ate me. Oh my god, that is tough. All right, I'm gonna run it back off camera, and I will bring you back when I finally get through that last fight. So, if you guys enjoyed the episode, please click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of Vagrus The Riven Realms or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!